This video is concerning the crash at Santa Monica Airport of PiperSport November 126 Whiskey Kilo on September 9th, 2022. This crash happened in the afternoon. It sounds like it was a training flight, and the crash happened during the landing phase of the flight. I will just quickly summarize what I've seen so far from web replays of the WEBTRAKs. The aircraft took off, made a right turn out from runway 21 at Santa Monica, followed the coastline out to somewhere south of Malibu, about 15 to 20 nautical miles. It looked like it could be a training area. It looked like they may have done a stall, a practice stall. They may have done some slow flight. At one point, they descended over the ocean to about 300 feet and then climbed back up to 1,700 feet and headed back inbound for the airport. It was a quick flight. During the flight, the person on the radio sounded like the instructor. It's been reported by the news that there was an instructor and a student on this plane. From what I can gather, the instructor was probably the one making all the radio calls because the person sounds very proficient. He is quick, and that's sort of what you would expect from somebody who's got experience, especially instructor experience, flying in the Southern California area. This airport, Santa Monica, is just north of LAX. It is in a very busy airspace. We will pick up the WEBTRAK and the ATC recording as they're headed back inbound and they check in with the tower. The audio recording is from Live ATC. LiveATC.net is where I obtain the audio. I've done my best to synchronize the WEBTRAK replay of the flight path and also the audio so that we can get the best picture that we can, at least at this time, of the sequence of events. And the aircraft is a PiperSport light sport. The Piper only made about, or should I say marketed, perhaps about 50 of these before they discontinued the aircraft. But the aircraft is made in the Czech Republic. It is a very nice aircraft. The aircraft is still made, I do believe, under a different name, and is very popular. I do have some experience in some Czech light sports, a couple hundred hours, not in this particular model, but in another very similarly configured low-wing Rotax powered light sport aircraft. And I can give some comments at the end of this, just generalizing some of the unique characteristics of these types of aircrafts, which may or may not have contributed to this accident. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll the replay of the audio and the WEBTRAK, the flight track.
Santa Monica Tower, 126 Kilo with Charlie over the Palisades inbound full stop.
Number 126 Whiskey Kilo, Santa Monica Tower, right traffic, runway 21. You do have Charlie?
AFM right traffic, runway 21, we have Charlie, 6 Kilo, thanks.
PiperSport Tango, runway 21, clear for the option.
Runway 21, clear for the option, 4 Tango Tango. Tower, West Coast 1, we'll be ready to go at the end.
West Coast 1, Santa Monica Tower, waiting release. November for Yankee Papa, contact ground.
Over to the ground for Yankee Papa.
Santa Monica Tower, look up to reach Med 22 is lifting from UCLA. We will be working over here for just about 5 minutes around campus.
Goodbye, reach Med 22, Santa Monica Tower, roger, transition approved, altimeter 2966.
66.
Helicopter 624 Whiskey Charlie is north of Beacon Tower.
Number 4 Whiskey Charlie, right turn around the tower, runway 21, clear to land, hover taxi to Atlantic ramp on this frequency. Traffic is serious, turning a 2.5 mile base to final, so make it quick, please.
Runway 21, clear to land, beam Atlantic 64 Whiskey Charlie.
Sirius 4 Tango Tango, traffic is a helicopter north side of beam the tower and landing prior to you. You are still clear for the option, runway 21.
After that, then, we've got the helicopter inside. Go Tango Tango.
Passport 6 Whiskey Kilo, your number 3. Traffic preceding you is Sirius on a 1.5 mile final, no factor, runway 21, clear to land.
So go line number 3, looking up Sirius 6 Whiskey Kilo, thanks. Helicopter 624 Whiskey Charlie is clear to only.
Thank you.
Santa Monica Tower, Skyhawk 7960 Papa, holding short at runway 21, requesting right turn at the shoreline.
Cessna 7960 Papa, Santa Monica Tower, roger.
And traffic inside 126.
Number 6 Whiskey Kilo, roger, and continue downwind, I will call your base traffic while holding position.
Continue down, you'll call our base 126 Kilo.
Cessna 60 Papa, right turn at the shoreline, approved, runway 21, clear for takeoff.
Runway 21, clear for takeoff, 60 Papa.
Passport 6 Whiskey Kilo, turn base, continue inbound traffic while holding position.
Alright, turning base 126 Kilo. Santa Monica Tower, helicopter 647 Foxtrot Papa, North Shoreline.
Number 647 Foxtrot Papa, Santa Monica Tower, transition approved, altimeter 2965.
Transition approved, 647 Foxtrot Papa.
West Coast 1, runway 21, line up away, traffic turning at 2 mile final, light sport.
Line up away 21, West Coast 1.
Cessna 60 Papa, start the right turn towards the pier.
Start right turn towards the pier, 60 Papa.
West Coast 1, upwind traffic turning away, runway 21, clear for takeoff.
21, clear for takeoff, West Coast 1.
Passport 6 Whiskey Kilo, report the King Air inside.
Inside 126 Kilo.
Number 6 Whiskey Kilo, caution with turbulence, maintain visual separation, runway 21, clear for the option.
Maintain visual, runway 21, clear for the option, be a full stop, 6 skill, thank you.
Sirius 4 Tango Tango, traffic in Santa Monica final light sport, runway 21, clear for the option.
Runway 21, clear for the option, 4 Tango Tango. Tower 7 Marshall Papa, we'd like to make a right turn at the pier to the Blue Whale.
Number 7 Foxtrot Papa, proceed as requested, and there's a helicopter orbiting in the vicinity of UCLA 1000 indicated.
Alright, we'll be looking. Thanks so much, 7 Marshall Papa.
West Coast 1, contact SoCal departure, good day.
Good day, West Coast 1.
Santa Monica Towers, Quebec Dodger Stadium, 1 Charlie.
Unit 1, Unit 2, Santa Monica Tower.
Tower, alert 3.
Yeah, copy that.
you copy?
Yes, we copy, thank you.
Santa Monica Towers, there's 8.71 Quebec, on about a 9-mile final. Guessing I'm probably not.
Sirius 171, copy Santa Monica Tower, that is correct. And yeah, there's a crash on the field, and we're going to be close for quite a while.
Roger that, yep, I see the smoke. Someone Quebec, I guess I'll probably let me circle for a little bit, get my charge out, and I'll probably head over to Van Nuys and someone Quebec.
Sirius 1, copy, Roger. Sirius 4 Tango Tango, you're going to have to do your own navigation towards somewhere else.
After that, we're going to Van Nuys, 7 for Tango Tango.
Number 7 for Tango Tango, proceed as requested.
And Tower someone Quebec, just curious, who just went down?
It's a light sport.
Roger that, thanks, someone Quebec.
And Tower reach Med 22, I see a smoke over there. I have a medic and a doctor on board. Do you need any help?
I'm not sure. I need the vehicles on the ground to give us a report, but I'm not expecting survivors.
Okay.
Number 7 Foxtrot Papa, traffic is orbiting just south of UCLA and 1000 indicated.
Alright, we got him. Thanks so much, 7 Marshall Papa.
Cessna 796 Papa, contact SoCal 125.2, 25.2.
So the tower controller, he gives a grim assessment. He's got eyes on this situation, and his assessment is there will not be survivors. We heard the tower controller give a caution for wake turbulence to the light sport aircraft due to a King Air taking off. But from what I see, at least, preliminarily, the King Air's wake turbulence likely had nothing to do with this. The light sport came down really, just after the threshold of the runway, and I don't believe the King Air would have had enough speed to, at least at that point in the runway, to create enough turbulence and wing vortice to upset the light sport. So I gotta say, one thing that I heard in this recording was I heard someone yelling, "Let go, let go." And I just have to wonder if that is the instructor who is, telling the passenger, the student in the aircraft to, give up the flight controls. The aircraft came to rest. Here's runway 21 at Santa Monica. And the aircraft came to rest right in this area here. So, just past the numbers, it impacted in this area right here and came to rest. And unfortunately, a fire ensued. We hear the instructor or someone yelling, "Let go, let go." My experience in these Czech light sports, or any, and I'm sure it applies to many other Rotax powered light sports, they have a very strong left turning tendency when power is applied abruptly, especially at low speed. If you look through the annals of NTSB accident reports, and I have done that for many, many years. In fact, on my Facebook page, I have cataloged photographs and accident reports of the particular light sport that I have a lot of time in. A lot of runway excursions end off to the left, and that is because the Rotax engine is gear reduced. There is a gear reduction unit between the engine and the prop that reduces the engine's RPM for the propeller so that the propeller runs in a speed that a propeller normally should run in. The Rotax can be running the engine at 5,500 RPM, let's say, but you don't want the propeller cannot run at that sort of speed. You'll get high speed stall at the tips and lots of other things that are just bad for propulsion. So the gear reduction unit is there to slow the prop speed down. But a side effect of that gear reduction is a great amount of torque. And that torque ends up to the left side. So if you apply power abruptly, especially at a low speed, it can really cause an extreme left yaw moment. And if you happen to be off the ground, perhaps a roll moment to the left. So, this is another it's a sad situation. The light sport aircraft is registered to a flight school, Santa Monica Flyers. That's already been reported in the news. The nature of this flight, just from watching the web replay, which I have not shown here in its entirety, just for brevity and appreciation of your time, the viewers, the flight is fairly quick. It's a departure, it's a right turnout, it's a flight down the coastline. They get about 15 to 20 miles out from the airport, always staying, relatively close to the shore. They do what looks like one stall. They do a little bit of slow flight. They do a descent from, say, 1,600 feet down to 300 feet, and then they're doing that in a left turn, a descending left turn. Then they get headed back towards the airport, climb up to 1,700 feet, and they're inbound again. And the instructor or the pilot calls for a full stop landing. So he's not calling for an option. He's not calling for a touch and go. It has sort of the hallmarks of a discovery flight to me. Either that or a very early lesson. But, really, it looks more like perhaps a discovery flight. The flight is pretty brief. There are only, one or two very quick maneuvers that you would expect in training. A quick stall, which looks like a controlled stall, a quick segment of slow flight, and then, just back to the airport. So, yeah, it would not be uncommon for an instructor to allow someone, even on a discovery flight, their first or second flight in a small aircraft, to sort of follow the instructor on the controls during the approach phase. And perhaps that's what happened here. And who knows, what at the very end, after they crossed the fence or the threshold of the runway, led them to this excursion. From the tower controller's comments that he did not expect the air accident to be survivable, and from some videos that I've seen of the smoke cloud that ensued, it doesn't seem like this was an excursion from the ground. It seems like, and also witness accounts said that the aircraft pitched up very extreme angle of climb, and then departed into a left roll and sort of, augered in. So we don't really know what caused what sounds like perhaps a go-around attempt, but it just, I don't have a transcript, but from several replays that I've made of the audio, it sounds like someone is yelling, "Let go, let go." And there have been some light sport aircraft in this configuration that have had some incidents related to rudder pedal misapplication, feet slipping off rudder pedals, feet using the wrong rudder pedal, or the pilot in the right seat using the pilot in the left seat's rudder pedals, thinking that it's theirs. And that has led to some aircraft advisories or some required maintenance for partitions to be installed between the right seat pilot and the left seat pilot, their rudder pedals, so that that sort of thing cannot happen. I cannot say that that happened here. I doubt it, because typically that leads to an excursion to the right. If the inexperienced person in the right seat is making the application of controls. But a lot of times discovery flights will be made with the student in the left seat and the pilot in the right seat, so it is possible that something like that happened. I've not read up on required maintenance or advisories for this Piper Light Sport to see if something like that had been an issue that had been noted, and the manufacturer had made changes to prevent something like that. But I do know that there are some Czech light sports that have had incidents where feet have gone, sort of on their own excursion into the wrong rudder pedals of the right seat or left seat, and that has led to some bad outcomes. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the NTSB report here, what sort of evidence they're able to recover. Honestly, from what I've seen, there is not a lot left of the aircraft. It's a terrible thing to see, and you can see videos out there on YouTube, but we'll see. This one is sort of a mystery until we get some hypothesis or definitive information from the NTSB. So that's all that I have for now, and I wish you all the best in your flight endeavors, and blue skies to these two airmen and airwomen. And it's a sad thing, but hopefully we can all learn from it.